Hey guys, Eric here, back outside at the Bethlehem Golf Club. Want to talk to you today about how to swing the club like Tommy Fleetwood, and more specifically, how his right hip works. All right guys, so let's talk about how to swing the club like Tommy Fleetwood and how his right hip works. Today's episode video is sponsored by CogornoGolf.com. It's our membership site. As I always say at the end of the videos, if you guys want more instruction from me tailored for you, that's where you should go. What we did on there was we really wanted to create courses that guided your learning process better than just these videos. I always say in the comments, I need to see your swing to really help you. That's what that's for. We have a Facebook community. There's a lot of us in there. You can post your swings. We help each other out. I guide you towards certain courses. It can expedite the learning process. The link will be in the description down below. So Tommy Fleetwood, who's not a member of CogornoGolf.com, but maybe should be, swings the golf club really well, right? Right now, Tommy Fleetwood's swing is probably one of the most looked after, looked upon. People really like his swing motion, right? Now, what I want to show you what he does specifically, and something that perhaps we don't talk about a ton when we're talking about rotation, is really how his right side rotates. And in particular, I'm going to show you in this video here in a second how his right hip moves in space and how much space it covers. I want to show you how you can think about that and a drill you can do to improve your ball striking by improving your right hip motion. So check this out. All right, guys, so let's take a look at Tommy Fleetwood here. Now to start with, since we're going to be looking at how the lower body and the right hip motion work, I'm going to just draw a line down his right leg here. So when I'm doing online lessons or I'm reviewing a swing, usually I'm drawing a circle around the head like so, and I'm drawing a line down the right leg. And those are usually the two main pieces that I'm starting with. Now, what I really want to show you guys is how far his right leg moves from where he starts into the finish. So let's use that red line on his leg. And let's just take a look here in slow motion what he does, and then we're going to slow it down and draw some checkpoints here. So even here, look at where his right hip finishes relative to where he started. I'm going to take that circle out to make this clear. Let's go back to here. So look at where his right hip starts on that line. Go back to the address position. Now during his backswing, his right hip, and most good players will just create a little bit of space between the line he started and where he's at, so right there. So that's a pretty common thing there. Now watch as he moves forward, how far his right hip is working. And again, remember, how is that right hip moving forward? There's a shift component. I'm going to show you a little bit of this. There's a shift component that moves it forward, and there's a rotation component. And if you combine those two things together, look at how far his hip had to travel. I think a lot of the times when we're talking rotation, we talk about left side, not right, and it's easy to get stuck back on that side. So let's just draw a couple of checkpoints to give you a clear visual here. So here's where he starts. Let's draw a line when he goes up to the top. So we'll use this same bottom point. So there, his right hip, and I'm just using kind of the edge of his hip, right? He created a little bit of space, so he moved a little forward during his backswing. And then by the time he gets to left arm parallel, he's moved quite a bit forward. So he created a lot of space there. That's more so here through the shift than the turn, but it's a combination of both. Now when he gets down to left arm parallel, he's moving even more forward. I'll use green for that as a rough estimate. So he's moving forward the whole time. Let's get to impact. His right hip moves even a little bit more forward. And then once we get past impact, we'll see the completion of the turn, which is going to make him go even more forward. He is at arms parallel. I'm just going to keep going down got a little rainbow working here. And then as we go into the finish position, he's here. So the point being, you're not really necessarily trying to keep your right hip on the line you start with. Most good players are going to create a little bit of space during their backswing and then gradually through shift and turn, work into the follow through. What I want you to see is if this is a circle of where he started way back here, and here's where he finished, his right hip has moved a lot, and you can feel that in your swing. I'm going to show you a couple different feels, explain a little bit how to do that, and how you can feel this in your golf swing, move your low point forward, hit the ball more solid, have better club face control. All right, guys, so you saw how Tommy uses his right hip motion. The point that I really want to get across is how far, excuse the birds in the back, how far the right hip travels in space from the setup position through to the finish position, right? So when I'm watching a swing, I always do that line like I drew in there down the right leg. We saw During his backswing, he creates a little bit of space there with his right leg. Most players will create a little bit of space between that line and his right hip. And then during the entire downswing to the finish, it's kind of crazy to see how far his right hip travels forward as he's rotating. So his hip note isn't just traveling forward straight linear like this. If I just turn my hips, my hip has gone forward. What he's doing is, you always hear me say, shifting and turning. So he's getting his right hip to go forward by shift and by turn, and when you combine those together, he gets all the way to his finish. A really simple feedback thing for you guys that I always do would be if I take my normal setup, put my club across my belt loops here, when I make a pivot motion, when I'm working through, I want to get myself fully turned towards the target, fully parallel, which means my right hip is as close to the target as my left. A lot of you guys and gals will get to about here. Right hip back, left hip through. I want you fully turned, and just use that as a checkpoint. You might need to feel like you're extending your right leg different, activating, right, squeezing your glute, lengthening your quad. Get your right hip fully turned forward, belt buckle up in the air. So when you guys are hitting shots here with this, it's just a simple little checkpoint, right? If I go ahead and just make a normal swing motion here, and I see where I get to in my finish, and I'm just gonna check here and say, okay, is my right hip as close to the target as my left? Am I fully turned here? What you can feel throughout your swing is from the top, I'm getting my right hip or my right pocket turning and moving forward, turning and moving forward, turning and forward, turning and forward, and really feel your whole quad, even your right kneecap, get fully turned towards the target. I don't want you guys to get stalled out and have your quad and your knee pointed out to right field. I want this whole right leg turning and shifting as you move forward into that follow through. I'll do one more. And it's just a different way to do the same thing. A lot of times when we're talking rotation, we talk about left side feels, but these are just some different right side feels that do the same thing. Get yourself fully turned through. So a little bit of a different feel, quick video. I wanted you to see that. Sometimes these little things can be eye-opening. You can get a feel, can improve your rotation, help you guys hit the ball better. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment down below. Hey guys, thanks for watching today's video. If you liked the video, do us a favor, click the like button down below. Click the notification bell. Also, please subscribe if you haven't. Another reminder, CogornoGolf.com is up and live. If you want more instruction from me tailored for you, check out the link in the description. Thank you guys.